Now we will study about the factors that led to the Bohr's model. So, the factors were, first of all, it was the dual nature of electromagnetic radiation, and the second point was experimental results regarding atomic spectra and quantized electronic levels. What is meant by quantized electronic levels? Quantized means discrete or step by step. That is, there are several orbitals with different energy levels. Okay. So, the energy of the electronic levels are not continuous. They will have step by step values, like they will have discrete energy levels. That is called quantized electronic levels. So, first of all, we will now study about the electromagnetic radiations. So, what are electromagnetic radiation? So, what are electromagnetic radiations? Initially, it was assumed that light or the radiations have particles. They were called corpuscles. They were considered as particles of light. But this was very initially, like in the time of Newton. But after that, in 1870, James Maxwell suggested that electrically charged particles moving under acceleration produce alternating electric and magnetic fields. In the form of waves. Okay. So, electrically charged particles, when they move under acceleration, they produce alternating electric and magnetic fields in the form of waves. So, this is called the wave nature of light. Okay. Light has two properties. One is the wave nature and another is the particle nature. Okay. So, there are two properties, wave nature and particle nature. Wave nature was proposed by Maxwell. So, first we will study about the wave nature of light or wave nature of electromagnetic radiation. So the wave nature of electromagnetic radiation is related to the oscillating electric and magnetic fields. Oscillating electric and magnetic fields. Okay. So, for example, let's consider 3 axes. Okay, like this is X, Y and Z. These are the 3 axes. Now the most important point is electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. Okay, and both of them are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of radiation. Both of them are perpendicular to direction of propagation of radiation. Okay, so if radiation propagates in the direction of x-axis, okay, if we consider x as the direction of propagation, and let's consider the electric field is along the direction of z-axis. Electric field along z-axis. Now, if suppose the electric field is like this, okay, if the electric field is like this, and suppose magnetic field is along y-axis, so all the 3 of them are perpendicular to each other. That is the direction of propagation. This is the electric field, and now let's consider if this is the magnetic field, then it will be like this. Something like this. This will be the magnetic field. Okay, by a more simplified image we can draw so like this. Now if electric fields are in this direction, suppose, and the magnetic field are in this direction, okay, so they are perpendicular to each other. So electric plus magnetic, electric component and magnetic component, all together they are known as electromagnetic radiation, because they have an electric field and a magnetic field. Okay, so electromagnetic radiation has various components. They are gamma rays, X-rays, UV, that is ultraviolet, visible light, the light that we can see, due to which we can see different colors, that is the visible light, IR, that is infrared, microwaves, radio waves. These are all types of electromagnetic radiations. Among them, only the visible light is detected by human eye. So, all these rays together are called electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum. So, all these different types of radiations have different wavelengths and frequencies. Now, what is wavelength? Every kind of radiation has these three factors: wavelength, frequency, and speed. These are the three parameters by which electromagnetic radiations can be studied. So, what is wavelength? Wavelength is the distance between two consecutive crests or troughs of the light wave. So, if this is a wave, okay, these are called crests, crest, and these are called trough. So, the distance between two crests is called wavelength, and also the distance between two troughs can be called wavelength. Wavelength is denoted by this symbol lambda. Okay, this is the symbol lambda, and wavelength is basically length. So the SI unit of wavelength is meter. But since wavelength of light we are talking about, and these are very small lengths, so we don't really express them in meters. We express them mostly in nanometer or angstrom. What is nanometer? 10 to the power minus 9 meter. And what is angstrom? 10 to the power minus 10 meters. We generally express wavelength of light in nanometer or angstrom scale, but the SI unit is meter. Now, frequency. Frequency is the number of wavelengths which pass through a certain point in unit time. Okay, so frequency is the number of wavelengths which pass through a certain point in unit time. Frequency is denoted by nu. This is the nu. So SI unit of frequency is second inverse. which is also written as Hertz or short form Hz. Okay, and it is mentioned in Hertz only. And the third parameter is speed of light. You know the definition of speed. So speed of light, now light like sound waves require a medium to travel, but light waves do not require a medium. Do not require medium. Okay, it can travel through vacuum. It can travel through vacuum, but sound waves require medium. Light waves also has a very high speed as compared to sound waves. What is the speed of sound waves? Sound waves has a speed of around 340 meter per second, but light waves have a speed of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second in vacuum. This is denoted as C. Speed of light changes in different medium. Generally, the speed of light which is in vacuum remains the same in air, that is in the atmosphere. But if the density of air changes, or there are more number of particles, that is more number of dust particles or more moisture in the air, then the speed of light can change. That is generally lower than this value. So this is the highest value of speed of light. So what is the relation between these three parameters? Wavelength, frequency and speed. This is expressed as C equal to nu lambda, that is speed equal to wavelength into frequency. See how this is correlating. What is frequency? Frequency's unit was second inverse, right? So frequency is basically the reciprocal of time. We know that speed equal to distance by time, right? So distance into 1 by time we can say, and 1 by time is frequency, and wavelength has similar unit as distance. Therefore speed equal to wavelength into frequency, right? So this can also be reformed. If C equal to nu lambda, then we can say lambda equal to C by nu, and nu equal to C by lambda. These three formulas are very important. You have to remember this because numericals are asked from this. Let's take one example. Suppose the wavelength, okay, before that there is a fourth parameter that is called wave number. Wave number nu bar. Okay, so what is wave number? Wave number is the reciprocal of wavelength, that is number of wavelengths in a unit length. Okay, wave number is 1 by lambda or nu by C. This is the SI unit is meter inverse, but it is generally written as centimeter inverse. So let's quickly see one example, like if lambda of green light is 550 nanometer, then how we will calculate the frequency and wave number. So we will discuss this numerical and some details about the electromagnetic spectrum in the next class. So we have studied about the electromagnetic radiations. Next we will study about the spectrum and the particle nature of light in the next class. Thank you.